So a lot of people probably don't know this, but leverage, trading leverage actually, the leverage really doesn't matter. It's about the trade size. So a lot of, newbie traders are asking me, hey, how much leverage? What leverage should I use trading Bitcoin or Solana or altcoins or meme coins? It's guys, it's not the leverage. Leverage will only give you a bigger trade size. It's just about the trade size. So if you have a smaller account, then maybe use only 10%, 2%, 5% of that per trade. That's how much you want to risk. Now, for experienced traders and bigger traders, usually they will trade with bigger size. They would trade 1 to 5 to 10, even 20, 30 Bitcoins per trade. So I want to show you right now. So right now, are on a 10x. All right. So on a 10x, let's say I want to trade one Bitcoin. The cost of one Bitcoin right now is around, Bitcoin's around 80K. So it will cost me around $8,000 margin to open a one Bitcoin position. So I will long that. All right. So there you go. That's my position, right? So this is the fees for opening the trade. And basically I used $7,800 margin for a 10x long on Bitcoin. Now I can actually do that even with a different leverage. So let's say my leverage is 5x. So with 5x, of course, I would need twice the margin to open this long trade. You understand? That's why leverage doesn't matter. It's about the trade size. So, if you're a newbie trader, be careful with using a whole Bitcoin per trade because you could get liquidated as fast. Say I wanna use a 100x leverage. So for 100x leverage, I want to trade one Bitcoin. Of course, it would only cost me $800 margin to open a long position. There you go. But of course, with a higher leverage, your liquidation is also, very, very close. So be careful with high leverage, with trade size. But, if you use 100x and you only trade 0.1 Bitcoin, you would only need $85 to open this. A 0.1 Bitcoin trade. It's about the trade size. It's the same with Ethereum, Solana. If you want to trade Ethereum, let's say you want to trade a $10,000 Ethereum. So $10,000 Ethereum trade would be around $10,000 Ethereum cost. Wait. Amount of ETH, USDT. So let's say I want to trade $10,000 worth of ETH and then I'm on the 20x leverage. So that will cost me $500 margin and I would open that long. And there you go. Our trade size is $10,000 and, the margin used is 500 because leverage is 20x. So leverage doesn't matter. It will only give you more trade size, bigger trade size. You could use that leverage to get bigger gains, but also would result into bigger losses or liquidations. So be careful with leverage. For newbie traders, I would highly suggest if you want to trade Ethereum or Solana, start with trading 0.1 ETH, 0.2 ETH, 0.5 ETH, or if you want to trade Bitcoin, 0.1 Bitcoin, 0.2 Bitcoin. And then if you want to trade Sol, maybe 10 Solana, 20 Sol. I always use the amount that I want to trade so that, I would know how big is my trade size. Okay. So thank you guys for watching. See you guys on the next one. Don't forget to use my Wix link.